Ealing and Rose. Here at your local community radio station, Brfm 95.6, broadcasting right across the Isle of Sheppey and Swale this evening. This is the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel. We're joined with Dave Andrews and Alan Moon. We're back speaking to Dave Andrews. So if anybody this evening's listening and sort of interested in joining but not quite sure, can they sort of pop along?
Yeah, Daniel. Anybody that is interested in perhaps joining the club or just finding out a bit more about the hobby itself, they're more than welcome to come to the club. It doesn't cost anything to come and watch, come and ask questions. I would recommend anybody that's considering joining or getting into the hobby, come and do that before you spend any money whatsoever. Just find out what's involved, learn more about it. You can either come along to the club, or if you want to, we have a website. It's www.forcc.co.uk. There's information on there about the club, a history of it, what we do, how to find us, and there's also a contacts page on there where you can click on, and it will you can ask a question, and it will email me directly.
Do you enter regional and national events?
Yes, we do. For the last couple of 3 years, we've been hosting rounds of the South East Off-Road Regional Championship. We've been lucky enough to have some good weather. It's an outside event when we race at the regional championships. We have the facility of a very large playing field next to the hall, and it provides a very good fast surface to race on. Okay. We've been lucky enough. We've had some of the best supported events in the South East in the last couple of years. Upwards of sort of over 55 drivers attending on a Sunday afternoon, normally when we run. And it's good. We're not actually hosting anything on a national level at the moment. That may happen in the future, who knows. We have got drivers that race with us on a weekly basis and also at the regional level who do attend national events. Again, as Alan was mentioning earlier on, as you're starting to get up towards that level, you're starting to look for sponsorship because your costs are going up. Your consumable items like motors and tyres and things like that. They're not... If you want to compete at the higher level, it's like any motorsport. You are going to have to invest money into it to sort of help with your success rate, really.
Okay, so we're joined with Dave Andrews and Alan Moon from the Faversham Off-Road Car Club this evening. NCC and the things we do for love here at BRFM 95.6, the island's very own radio station, broadcasting right across the Isle of Sheppey and Swale, and of course live online at brfm.net. This evening we are joined with Dave Andrews and Alan Moon. We're back speaking to Alan Moon. So Alan, what are your plans for the future at the club?
Well, Daniel, I suppose our main thing is to make sure that we carry on the club as we are at the moment, meeting every Wednesday evening for people to race and enjoy it. But up and beyond that, I suppose we really would like to get out into the community more. I mean, we have, as Dave mentioned a moment ago, we host the regional events, these couple of regional events, and it gives our drivers a bit of an opportunity to see what racing outside is all about, really. Because racing inside the hall, you're on a polished floor, and it's week in, week out. It's still absolutely brilliant and fun, but they can get quite used to that, and they get into their comfort zone. We try to encourage them to get outside and get onto grass. It's a bigger track. It's more difficult, more challenging, really, all round, for the equipment itself as well as the person driving it. So that's a sort of plan. We would really like to find a piece of ground of our own, but in this day and age, it's not a very easy thing to find a farmer that's prepared to basically let you have a piece of ground, because you're looking at half an acre, because you need somewhere people to park and pit, you need a space. Because our biggest problem is when we host these regionals, you've got to remember at 6 o'clock in the morning, there's nothing there, it's just a grass field. The logistics behind getting the ropes, which are housed in my garage, much to my wife's love, but are all housed in the garage, so the car sits outside, and these have got to be moved, they've got to be, transported. They're heavy things to do. All the computer motor side of it, everything itself has got to be built from scratch, really. And that is quite, well, logistically quite hard work, to be honest with you. And after you finish, it's all got to be tidied away. So if we could have a place of our own, that would absolutely be brilliant. But yet again, it's down to funding, it's down to money. We only make X amount of money per week, per month, per year. We are a club. We don't generate enough money to sort of get out there and just pick and choose. I suppose we're waiting for the right opportunity. We've also done a couple of fetes in our time. We're going to do a fete this year, actually. I think it's on the 14th of June at Dunkirk Village Hall. Sorry, not Dunkirk Village Fete itself. And we enjoy that because it is an opportunity. It's quite strange. I'll tell you a good story. It's only a short little story, but we done Hernhill Village Fete many years ago now, and there was the usual there. You had your tombola, you had your whack-a-rat, and you had your coconut shy guy there, and we started our race, and there was only about a dozen of us there, I suppose, 16 of us. We started to race. Of course, once we started, everybody in the whole fete, it was quite a well-supported fete itself, and everybody at the fete itself all of a sudden ended up around us, watching us, because it was something different. They'd never seen this at a fete before. And you can imagine all the dads with their sons, cool, look at this son, look at this dad. And they was all around us, and they was watching, and they was having a great time. It got to the point where the guy from the coconut shy actually come over to us and asked us if we'd stop racing because nobody was actually going anywhere near him, and he was getting quite annoyed about it. To us we found it quite amusing actually, but that's the sort of thing we can generate when we actually get out into the community. We can bring a bit of fun and enjoyment to not only ourselves but other things that people can see themselves, because coming on here tonight has given us a great opportunity to advertise what we are, where we are, what we do, what it's all about, and obviously getting out to fetes and community organisations as well is another great opportunity for us to sort of advertise ourselves, because we basically rely on word of mouth, I suppose. This sport we're in isn't a majorly well supported. If you put it in sort of text with sort of five-a-side football, everybody's child probably will play football at some point. Our hobby is quite niche, I suppose, in comparison. It's quite unique in many senses, many ways. So in that respect, I suppose we also sometimes struggle to get some people into the sport because they just don't know about you. There's many other ways, other sources of information to actually get into this. I think the BRCA have got a website themselves. Okay. That's the national sort of recognised. Well, they recognises all the sports. I think it's brca.org, and you can get onto that website, and that will give you, clubs in your area. If there's anybody listening here that's down here on holiday that's going back up the road or whatever, there are clubs like us. They're not that many about. I appreciate, they're not like the football clubs, but they are out there, and it is a countrywide thing. There is the opportunity. You just got to get on the websites and have a look. That's where
you've got your own website as well.
We've got our own website, yes, Faversham Off-Road Car Club one. Yeah, that's. I forgot it for a second. I'm going to get shot for that. Oh, no, blimey, I forgot my own website. www.forcc.co.uk. How embarrassing, forgot my own website, Daniel. It's embarrassing, isn't it? But no, I would say that's the best way to actually find any information nowadays is via the web, isn't it? Let's be honest. And that is a good source, good source to get to us.
Well, that's Dave Andrews and Alan Moon from the Faversham Off-Road Car Club. I'd like to thank you both for coming along this evening.
Thank you for having us, Daniel. We've thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. Thank you.
Okay, thanks ever so much, Dave Andrews and Alan Moon from the Faversham Off-Road Car Club here at BRFM.